Uh, Surya.
Thank you, Joe. Good evening, all of you.
Good
Good evening,
evening,
Glo.
sir.
Good evening, buddy. How are you? Okay.
Fine, Law. How about you?
I'm always super cool. Always. Anytime. Okay. So, guys, we have done with all the concept of the novel wheel and right, the VTP, DTP, पता नहीं क्या क्या था. ठीक है. चलो. Next one. Now, okay, I'll tell you the topic name is okay. The private VLAN. I'll tell you the first of all. Okay. And why I'm telling the because normally what happened, I'm not starting with the topic name, okay, but this topic I'm starting with the name private land, right? The reason I'll tell you, you have to little bit pay more attention, and because this is the little bit lengthy topic. Many people are not able to understand this one, right? I'll go very easy way, very easy way. Configuration is a little bit more that you have seen till this point, okay. Okay. So take example. Now forget the topic name now. Take example if you have a one cloud company. Okay. So take example. This is the one cloud company. So the cloud company is started by anything. Take example, Jojo. Okay. So Aryan has a own cloud company and they have a multiple customers over there. Take example. So this is the switch over there and they have a multiple customer. So we have a customer. Okay. Okay. Like this we can do. So we have some user belong to the different customers, a different company organization, we can say that. Okay, some guys are belong to the different organization, so this is the another one, right? And some guys belongs to the another organization, so this is another guy, right? So this is a different company. All good. So now understand this thing. So this is the company, I can say that the company X. Okay, this is the company Y, and this is the company Z. All good. Now we have a switch one. Okay, so this has a connectivity like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. So this is a cloud company. Cloud company, what normally is doing, you can take any example, the ISP service provider, and if you have a very big enterprise network, right, you can consider like this as well. What I want over there, condition is that, the user of company X, the user of company X should not communicate with the company Y and vice versa. Same thing, the company X, in a simple language, the company cannot communicate to each other. Different companies cannot communicate to each other. So this company cannot communicate to this guy. I'll write on this part. Okay. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll say that task one, company X user should not communicate with company Y user and G as well. Task two, what the user of company Y should not communicate with each other. Understand? The first condition is what? This guy is not able to communicate with this person. This guy is not able to communicate with this person, and this guy even not able to communicate with this person. All good. What is the second task? This should not communicate with each other. Even the user are present in the same company, they cannot communicate with each other. How will you do that? क्या लगा सकते हो आप उसमें? देखो, two different tasks is there and both have a different meaning.
Individual villains.
Individual villain. Okay, so very very good answer. Take example, if you have a 10,000 user, then how many villains you have? Not possible.
No.
What is the next solution? The next solution will be like this. Can I put this guy in a different subnet? Right? Can I put this guy in a different subnet? This guy should be, 1.0.0.0.0/8. This guy will be 2.0.0.0/8. This guy 3.0.0.0/8. This guy 4.0.0/8. And this guy 5.0/8. Is it possible now? Yeah, we have. But again, what? If I'm going to use the different subnet, what happened? You're just increasing the size of routing table. Of course, right? Because behind the switch, we have a router as well as, right? So if you have a look like this combination, right, a very complicated combination, right? You have a multiple customer beyond the 4,900, right? That's a normally what is the size of this guy? 4,000, right? And if you have a more than this user, in that case, normal will not use, right? All good. So what we came with the concept? We came with the concept of private VLAN. We came with the concept of private VLAN. What private VLAN allow you? By using the private VLAN, first of all, what happened? We don't need to use the multiple VLANs. Okay. With the help of private VLAN, I'm just going to avoid this problem. No need to use multiple VLANs. Second, no need to use multiple subnet. This benefit we are getting over there. It is something like that, देखो कैसे काम करता है प्राइवेट VLAN. This is your traveling bus. Okay. 1 2 3 4 और ये रहा ट्रैवल. ग्लास में, right? something called, ये पंजाबी है, मस्त एकदम full very tight. So this is the driver, right? Now here we have some user, right? Take example. There is some group over there, so they are going for the trip on Goa. Normally plan, always fail. So this guy over there, and this guy over there, this guy over there, and this guy over there, right? Then after that we have a scene. People are sitting over there, right? At the same time we have some guys over there. This is the one traveling bus, and we have some guys sitting over there, right? Now understand this person, right, is a part of one group. If you understand this example, your private VLAN will be clear. This is the another group we have. So these are the group, we can say the group A. This is the group B, right? And of course, like me, we have some solo travel as well as always prefer. These guys are solo travel. Solo travel. Now, so in this case, what happened? The group A person, right, is not, they don't know about the group B, and even group B does not know about the group A. At the same time, group A does not know about the solo travel. Like, you know, we have a friends group, so we only know about us, right? We don't have any idea about the another group. You're getting my point? So whatever the user are sitting over there, they can communicate to each other, right? Whatever the user are sitting over there in the group B, they can communicate to each other. But solo travel even cannot communicate to each other because they don't know each other, right? They have a separate group. They have own. That's why solo travel is what I prefer. Solo travel because I don't want to communicate with any person, right? Free from the world. But what is the common thing about this guy? Do you know common thing? They all can communicate with the driver. Because driver is driver. They are not belonging to anyone, right? So now you can assume like this. I'm going to make this guy as a part of VLAN number 100. And I'm going to consider this guy as okay, you are the community VLAN. Okay. I'm going to make this guy as a part of the VLAN number 200, and you will also a community VLAN. And I'm going to make this guy as the complete solo travel. I'm going to make this guy as a isolated VLAN. Why I'm going to call this guy as isolated VLAN number 300? Because these are isolated to each other, right? That's why I'm going to solo travel. And this is your ISP, internet. So every person can communicate with the internet, right? But community means what? Whatever the user are present in the community VLAN, they can communicate to each other. Whatever the user are present in the community VLAN, they can communicate to each other. The VLAN number 200, right? And whatever the user are sitting in the solo travel isolated VLAN, they cannot communicate to each other. That's something called isolated. But the common thing, they all can communicate with the internet side. So are you able to see how much amount of VLAN and subnet I'm going to reduce over there? Take an example of this one, this concept. If I'm going to tell you, hey, listen, you know, in isolated VLAN 300, sorry, forget the isolated VLAN right now. I'm saying that, hey, this guy cannot communicate to each other. How many VLANs you will create? VLAN number 10 for this guy, VLAN number 20 for this guy, VLAN number 30 for this guy, right? Normally you will do that like this. But with the help of isolated VLAN, that is a part of the private VLAN, how many VLANs I have to get? Single. Now imagine, right? Things. Imagine it. Without isolated, how many VLANs I have to get? 10, 20, 30. With the help of isolate, how many VLANs I have to get? Single. So same thing. If you have a 1000 customer, how many VLANs you have to create? 1000 VLAN. That is a normal scenario. But with the help of, if you have 1000 customer, right, I'll just get the one VLAN in the case of private VLAN. See the difference. And I do have a flexibility, right? I can also do like this. Okay, I have a community VLAN as well as, so if they have multiple, the sub customers they have, right? Of course, the branch office we have. So I can put that person in the branch community VLAN. For example, if they don't have any branch office, they have a single location, I will put that guy in the isolated VLAN. Simple, I will achieve all scenario, right? And this normally the private VLAN is deployed in the ISP side normally. And the enterprise network we are not deploying, because for the enterprise network, 4000 VLAN is enough. Range of 4000 VLAN is enough. Guys, one thing, it's very important.
Hello.
Yes, 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 yes. Yep.
So your voice was not coming.
अब आ रहा है?
It was silent.
अब आ रहा है ना?
हाँ अब आ रही है.
So now normally what happened, we are deploying the private VLAN in the ISP side, because on ISP we have a big network, right? Enterprise level, the range of the VLAN that we have 4094, it's enough one. So this benefit actually we are getting 1000 VLAN, normal customer 1000 VLAN. But if you have 1000 customer, one VLAN I require in the private VLAN keys. And we do have a lots of flexibility, right? If you have a multiple branch, I can allocate in the community VLAN. If you have a single branch, go for the isolated. So what you understand from this part, it means that in private VLAN itself, we have a two types of VLAN, right? One we have a community VLAN, and one we have a isolated VLAN. the user is present in the community VLAN, they can communicate to each other. But the common thing is that they can same thing with the another word. We have a ports in the private VLAN because these ports are play the important role. So we have a host ports and we have a promiscuous port. The host ports is what where the hosts are connected, and the promiscuous port is what where the ISP is connected. Gateway, this is all about the summary of private VLAN. That's it. You just need to remember this one. If somebody normally this kind of question they are not asking in the interview, but who knows? You need to remember this part and this part. That's it, nothing else. All done. So एक मिनट दे दो मुझे, ठीक है? Okay. Oh, sorry. The recording was paused. So I need to first make this guys, BTP more transparent. This is the topology you have. You can see that. Okay. The VLAN number 200 is our community VLAN 300 is isolated, and we have ISP, right? And we have our communication. You can see that. So right now, R1 is able to communicate with each and every person. Okay. And the first of all, you need to make the BTP more transparent to achieve the private VLAN. The reason is very simple, because in a private VLAN, what happened? You are creating the VLANs. So I want that VLAN should not be, transferred to the other switches. That's why you need to make this guys BTP more transparent. Understood? Otherwise, what happened? If I'm going to make this guy a server, take example. So if I'm going to get the one VLAN over there, VLAN over 200 and 300, this same information will flood into the other switches as well as. So the private VLAN, the requirement is that you need to make this guys a transparent mode so that we have a security over there. Otherwise, can you imagine that if you have an enterprise or ISP network, on the ISP network, if this guys behave like a client or server, take example, if any other person is going to delete the VLAN, the same information will be deleted from this switch as well as, right? So that's why it's a recommendation to have a transparent one. Now, what is the first thing? Create the primary VLAN. VLAN number 100. A very simple command. The same requirement I'm doing. Step number 2. Right. Secondary VLAN. VLAN number 200. Private VLAN. Community. And VLAN number 300. Private VLAN. Isolated. Done. What is the next thing? The next thing is that I'll do one thing. I'll just write down the configuration right in the notepad as well. Okay. Done. What is the next thing? Next thing is that associate, right, all ports, not all ports, something called like a map all the secondary VLAN into primary VLAN, right? So I say that VLAN number 100, that's my primary VLAN. I need to call all the secondary VLAN, primary VLAN association, right? I need to add the 10 and 20. Sorry, not 10 and 20, 100 and 200. What is the 200 and 300? That. So I need to go in the VLAN number 100 and I need to map all this guy. Come on. The reason is map because you will have only one primary VLAN. You need to tell this person, hey, my father is a VLAN number 100 and we are the sons of this guy, right? So we are the member of the primary VLAN. After what? Done this guy. Now the next thing is the ports, because we have done with the primary VLAN now. Now we have the assignment of the ports over there, right? So I need to map the all ports with, again, not map the port, but define the promiscuous port. Promiscuous port and make the member of all primary and secondary VLAN. Right? How do I do that? I need to go in the Ethernet 1/0. That's my ISP said, right? And what I'm going to do over there, I say that switch port mode private VLAN, which port? Promiscuous. Switch port private VLAN mapping. I'm going to map this guy. The parameters will be what? First, you need to define the primary VLAN. That will be my 100. And after that, followed by the secondary VLAN, the 200 and 300. All done. All good? Interface ETH1/0 and this guy. This is the port. Now we are done with the promiscuous as well as. Now it's time to configure the host port. Define the host port and map the VLAN. What are the host port we have? Ethernet 0/0 to 1, right? So interface range Ethernet 0/0 to 1. Switch port mode private VLAN host. Switch port private VLAN host association. I'm going to associate my primary VLAN is what? I'm going to associate my all my secondary VLAN with the primary VLAN. The 100 is my primary and secondary will be 200. That is this guy. Community. Right? Or this one as well as. Next thing was what? Same command, interface Ethernet 0/2 now and 3, right? This guy now. I just need to copy and paste it out. This would be 3, and I'm done. Copy and paste it over there. Which one? Okay. ये कहानी होगी तुम्हारी प्राइवेट होगी खत्म. Configuration is little bit more, but yeah, I already told you that the concept of the private VLAN is normally we are deploying on the ISP side, not on the customer side. All done? See the output. So private VLAN and private VLAN. Okay, sir, remember. Primary VLAN, secondary VLAN, isolated. All the members are there. कुछ तो हुआ है, कुछ तो गया है. सही तो है. Right. These are the 2 ports, right? Is belong to ISP side, so they can communicate with ISP. If you are not going to map this port, so they cannot communicate with ISP. So now if you see the behavior, all the whatever the user are in the community VLAN, they can only communicate with the itself. 1 or 2 can communicate with 1 or 1. 1 or 5 also can communicate because this is the ISP. But 1 or 3, no. R1 cannot send the traffic to the 1 or 3. It's not possible. It's not possible. R1 will send the traffic to the R3 because this is the part of the. But if you go back to the switch to router no 2 now, right? Even R2 can ping to the R1, right? And R2 can ping the 105. That's ISP. But come on, yes. And but R2 cannot ping the 103 isolated. And if you see the beauty of the private VLAN now, isolated, right? Cannot communicate to each other. They are the member of same VLAN, right? They are the member of same VLAN. They cannot communicate to each other. See? Same VLAN, right? Same member. Normally this is possible, right? See? But they can communicate with ISP. Beauty. This is all about your private VLAN. Let me know if you have any questions.
So this private VLAN, you said we use only on the ISP side, right?
See, normally we are using the ISP side, but you see, you just take example, and in the enterprise network on the corporate side, how many VLANs you have? Do you have a requirement of the private VLAN? No, because still you have a 4,000 something VLAN, right? And that's enough. Do you have that range of subnet in your enterprise network? No. So normally it's not like that we cannot deploy. We can deploy it, but that is not a good solution, right? Because you need to boot the huge number of configuration.
Okay.
So for dedicated projects, they will provide private VLANs, right, sir?
Yep, exactly. Dedicated project, we can do that probably in the enterprise network as well as.
Yes, sir.
Like you have a projects coming in your network for the 1 month, and you want that the whatever the person is coming from a different organization, and you don't want to allow that guy to access any other services, you can do that.
Okay, okay, sir.
All good. Any questions on the one? No. अब क्या पढ़ाऊं? बता जल्दी से VLAN में वो दिखा दो क्या तुम लोगों को इंटर VLAN डॉटिंग पता ही है ना इंटर VLAन डॉटिंग क्या होता है बताने की जरूरत नहीं है ना क्या होता है what is inter VLAN routing
हाँ
so just so
जरूर
you just use the commands, right? So what is the use inter VLAN routing to provide the communication between those two VLANs, right? That's meaning inter VLAN routing.
Between different VLANs, right?
Also yes. So you're sufficient है भाई मैं सही बता रहा हूँ ये प्रैक्टिकल है ना मैं 2.5-3 साल पहले पढ़ाया था इसी okay let's configure it long back when I was when I used to taught the the CCNA part, then I was teaching this. Okay, I first need to configure the VLAN over there. Sorry, forget the actually configuration part. So first I need to get the VLAN. So I'm going to make this guy Ethernet 0/1 port access VLAN number 10 and 0/2 switch port access VLAN number 20. Done. Two VLANs are there. Gateway will be on the right. VLAN 200 or 10 1 and 20. Right. I need to make this interface as a trunk 0/3 so that they can carry the vertical VLAN. That's the concept is there. Switch for trunk, switch for trunk. And then so do show interface trunk. Okay, the interface is not up. That's why it's not saying me up this time. As the interface gig 0/0, no SUT, right? And now see either I can take the two cables over there, one cable for the VLAN number 10 and another cable for the VLAN number 20. That's not a feasible solution. I'm just going to split this cable, right? I'm just going to split this cable into the 2-1, and this concept is known as a sub interfaces. So I'm just going to go in the interface gig 0/0, and I see the dot 10. Okay, it's just to identify. I'm just making the VLAN number 10 of this, right? So I'm just splitting the interfaces, right? Because we have two different VLAN. I'm going to assign the IP address of this guy. Before assigning the IP address, we need to provide the encapsulation, right? .1q, the VLAN number 10. Right? And now I define the IP address. This guy will be 1.1.100. And no need to, I think no need to do the setup because already manual, the main interface is interface gig 0/0 dot 20. Encapsulation first need to define dot 1 queue, VLAN number 20. The ID should be same with the VLAN. It has to be same. And IP address will be. And then what we have to do show IP interface brief. Okay. Up. Done. Now it's working fine, right? So if you see now they can communicate to each other. First ping my gateway, that's always a good troubleshooting, right? Gateway is working fine. Ping the other gateway. Working. Ping one. All good, right? Good. So you can do the same thing, no, like you can add the multiple interfaces over there. That's not a good solution. So that's why I created the sub interface. This concept is known as a router and stick. You can do the same thing, okay, on the layer 3 switches as well as. You need to create the SBI over there, right? Why I'm saying the router and stick, because now the router is a the stand on the single cable. That's why I'm calling the router and stick over there. And normally this is the solution that we are referring to, the production network, not the physical multiple, adding the physical interfaces over there. So this interface is strong and is going to carry all the VLAN interfaces, the VLAN 1020. And here we have two interfaces, right? So we have gig 0/0.10 and we have a gig 0/ right dot 20. So dot 10 for this guy and dot 20 for this guy. All good. ये बहुत ही बेसिक था, मैं बता रहा हूँ, क्योंकि ये मैं लिटरली आई एम टेलिंग यू, आई haven't taught this part in no any CCNP batches, right? Because this is the purely part of the CCNA level. अगर ये भी नहीं समझ में आता था CCNA में, तो मेरी सजेशन है, पता है व्हाट्स माय रिकमेंडेशन गाइस, देन डू द CCNA फर्स्ट. अगर ये भी समझ में नहीं आ रही है, देन डू द CCNA. See, learning the older things, right, and learning the starting from the basic is like it's not a bad thing. जब जब जागा तभी सवेरा, ऐसा नहीं है. Even I'm learning the CCNA books, right? So read the stuff. If you're not able to understand, join the CCNA batch again, right? They're not going to you're not allowed to join the news again CCNA. You can join it if you're not able to understand the CCNA concept. But as per your request, I just show you right how what is the interval. Okay, और कुछ बचा है? एक टास्क दो क्या? टास्क करना है, do this guy right now is this this is a task that you have to do right now. This 2%, right? Okay, my pen is not working. Just stop. Okay, so this is the guy, right? Make this guy as a community VLAN 200. Make this guy as a community VLAN 200, and this also guy as a community VLAN 200 right now. And this is the right now isolated is 300, right? But here you have to do, you did the configuration on the switch 1, same configuration you need to do on switch 2, right? And check are they communicating to each other or not. Okay. And after that, you do one thing, change the 200 with the 400 community VLAN. They can communicate in the 200 to 200, right? And even they can communicate with the ISP as well as. And then after I do one thing, make it 300 over there. Remember one thing, you will have only one primary VLAN and you will have only one isolated VLAN, but you can have a multiple community VLAN. You can have a multiple community VLAN. एक टॉपिक है छोटा सा, वो पढ़ लो. Do this task. It's a very good one, right?
Can I have same VLAN number for community and isolated?
No. How can you make it? How can you make it? It will not accept the command.
It always should be different, right?
Yeah, but the VLANs will be unique.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Update आ गया क्या कहीं पे? That's right. Okay. Okay, leave that topic, right? I'll teach you. Okay, now that's tomorrow. Okay, that's a small topic, 5 minutes of the topic, right? That's a VLAN hopping attack. So tomorrow I'll start the VLAN hopping attack and the spanning tree protocol as well, right? So same time. I need to restart my the laptop right now because it's getting very slow right now. Okay. Any other questions in the private VLAN?
No.
Okay. So guys, here I'm done. Let me know if you need any extra things about the VLAN. I'll teach you as well as, except the VLAN hopping that I'm going to teach you tomorrow. And you just go through the book and see whatever the topics that I haven't discussed, I'll teach you as well as. That's not a big deal. Okay, so I'm done. Tomorrow we'll start with the spanning tree protocol and the VLAN hopping. Okay. See you guys.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Good night.